This is News 8 Now, this morning.
It's really hard. We kind of take it personally because these people work with us and, we help them commemorate their families and celebrate a lot of big things. So it can be really tough when they're not around.
I think it really cheapens the work of our dairy farmers by calling, oat milk. And I got nothing. You want to drink oat milk or almond milk or, stuff from algae or, knock yourself out. But it's just not milk.
This is our kickoff festival, or what starts most of the summer festivals. So it's a lot of fun to come down and family friendly.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye opener. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Friday, June 2nd, Friday, as Derek and I like to call it.
Exactly.
It's going to be a great, beautiful weekend. Don't think there's a lot of rain in the forecast, so hopefully everyone will get to be outside.
Right, yeah, this weekend is looking pretty dry. Going to be pretty hot, though, but we're also watching a chance of thunderstorms for today. We'll get to that here in a second. As of right now, everything is off to a pretty quiet start. However, if you're near the Chippewa Valley, around the Trempealeau area and north, you may be noticing a few light sprinkles across your neighborhood, but other than that, conditions are looking okay. And you can see some of those showers that we had here overnight and also into early this morning continue to weaken over the last 30 minutes or so. Here's a check on those current temperatures, and right now we're in the 60s, even some spots like La Crosse, even low 70s there, 67 in Prairie du Chien. Winona currently at 68 degrees. So here's a check on the overall planner here. Watching for a slight chance of a drizzle possible by 7, and then other than that, partly cloudy skies throughout the rest of the morning. Temperatures warming up into the 80s early this afternoon, followed by the low 90s by 3 p.m. And then especially between 5 to 7, that's probably your best bet to see scattered showers and thunderstorms with that southerly wind profile at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As far as your allergy report goes, the symptom index is medium for everything today. For tomorrow, the grass index is a little high. Pine and tree pollen still remain medium, though, for tomorrow. The rain chances today should hopefully bring some of that pollen or symptom index down, hopefully a little bit. We'll monitor that, plus your schoolcast and your full weather forecast a little later. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. A Winona woman has now been missing for 2 months. Businesses along East 3rd Street have signs on their windows with Madison Kinsbury's name and a brief description, including when and where she was last seen. One of the businesses is Red Wing Tattoo, where Kinsbury is a client. The tattoo shop has had signs outside its windows since she went missing. Owner Zephyr Morrison says Kinsbury was scheduled for an appointment a few days ago. She says her disappearance is having an impact.
It's really hard. We kind of take it personally because these people work with us and, we help them commemorate their families and celebrate a lot of big things. So it can be really tough when they're not around.
Morrison and her staff have been joining searches with the hopes of finding Kinsbury. Blue ribbons have also been placed around Winona, and residents are putting blue lights on their homes. 3 people are still unaccounted for at the site of a building collapse in Davenport. New photos and documents show that exterior work on the building began 4 days before the collapse, and an engineer hired by the building's owner reported that parts of the brick front looked likely to fall apart at any moment. The son of one of the missing people has been standing by and sleeping outside the fences, believing his father is still within the rubble of the building.
It's frustrating, but I don't know. I've been trying my hardest not to think about it so I don't break down and cry. I've been trying to push it to the back of my head and just think about nothing.
The American Red Cross opened a shelter for people who were forced out of their apartments. The city says it's offering $6,000 to each displaced family. City authorities are struggling to figure out when and how to demolish the building. To help people grieving with the loss of a loved one, Black River Memorial Hospital is lending a helping hand. The hospital is relaunching their grief support session called Life After Loss. The goal of the group is to provide a safe space for people to share their struggles and normalize the impacts of grief. The group also provides shared resources to help fight isolation. Hospital leaders said these support sessions go a long way.
When an individual is going through a really traumatic time like that, for us to be able to have a part in helping them to find that community is really important for us to be able to provide to our patients.
If you or someone you know is interested in joining a session, they are on Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the Maple Room of Black River Memorial Hospital. Pre-registration is preferred but not required. For more information, call the number on your screen or visit our website. A century-old home is getting new life as Habitat for Humanity hands over the keys to its new homeowner. Andrea Baum and her kids will be moving into this house on 6th Street in La Crosse at the end of the month. Habitat held a dedication ceremony today. The house was built in the 1880s, and Baum, along with volunteers, put in hundreds of hours of work into the house. For Baum, this house means having a permanent safe place to stay for her and her family.
I think once we move in, a part of me just is going to be more complete. There's always been that missing piece of not having a home to go home to or something that we've had in the family. So I'm really excited just to have that piece kind of like fulfilled and kind of go forward in the future for future generations in my home.
All Habitat homeowners put in 350 sweat equity hours and take financial literacy and first-time homeowner classes before purchasing the home from Habitat. The house has 3 bedrooms, a crafting room, and a backyard for her kids to play in. This year's Oktoberfest button design was revealed at the Forks and Corks fundraising dinner. This year's button was designed by Savannah Horstman. It follows the theme of 2023, Come Fest With Me. Horstman said she based the design off a photo from a past Oktoberfest and thought it showed off how La Crosse welcomes everyone to get to know the city during the fest. Horstman is going to school at UW-Milwaukee but grew up in La Crosse.
It's been a huge part of my upbringing since I am local to the area. My first photos on my mom's Facebook page are some of me and my sister at the Oktoberfest parade, and then we got involved with the Grenadiers, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
Horstman will get a special commemorative button that designates her as the designer and $100. The fundraising dinner brings in money for 10 scholarships to go to area high school students for their future education. One event in La Crosse is making sure middle and high school kids have a safe and fun way to spend their summers. The second annual Together for Youth summer kickoff event took place at Powell Park. Multiple youth agencies in the Coulee region partnered with hosts activities including a scavenger hunt, flag football, arts and crafts, and more. Organizers say many kids are struggling with mental health. They say it's important to provide kids access to summer programming and connect them with adults who care. Community members also gathered for a night of live music and warm weather as the first night of Moon Tunes kicked off at Riverside Park. Tom Wopat and the Midwestern All-Stars performed for a full crowd. Community members enjoyed food, trucks, beer, ice cream, and even some dancing. Moon Tunes happens every Thursday night. Next week, Moon Tunes is welcoming a Beatles tribute and a Doors tribute to the stage. West Salem is ready to celebrate a hallmark of Wisconsin, dairy. Enjoy food, music, and carnival games at West Salem's 53rd annual June Dairy Days Festival. The festival starts today and will run through Sunday. After all their hard work and preparation for Dairy Days, organizers say they're excited that festival season has begun.
This is our kickoff festival, or what starts most of the summer festivals. So it's a lot of fun to come down and family friendly. And
the festival starts at noon. The carnival food and beer tents at Village Park will open at 5 p.m. followed by Friday night fireworks at 10 p.m. For more information about the festival, go to news8000.com. We're just days away from pool season. Erickson Northside Community and Veterans Memorial Pool open up Saturday. The pools will be open until August. Admission is $4 per person. And in Eau Claire, Fairfax Municipal Pool opens on Saturday. The pool is also open through August. Adults and youth admission is $5 a person. Kids 2 years and under get in free. Still ahead on your morning news, the effects that drinking as a teen can have on your mental health, and why exercise is recommended for cancer survivors during and after treatment. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Today is National Donut Day, which started by the Salvation Army to honor donut lassies, women who served donuts to troops during World War I to boost morale. In La Crosse, Dunkin' Donuts is offering a free donut with the purchase of a beverage. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Watching a few light showers across portions of the area now, but other than that, conditions are off to another quiet start. Again, some of these showers that we had overnight continue to diminish. Your dog walking conditions this morning, you may run into a light drizzle out there, but overall it's okay. Partly cloudy here as we head to the afternoon walks. Watching out for some scattered thunderstorms, however, as we head into this evening. So it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and bring an umbrella as you head out for those evening walks. Temperatures now in Winona, 68, Eau Claire at 65. La Crosse currently reporting 70 degrees at the airport, 59 in Sparta, 66 in Viroqua, Prairie du Chien at 67 degrees down south. And our forecast highs today, looking at another hot and steamy one, as highs will pick up into the upper 80s to low 90s. In fact, Shelby, Berry Mills, La Crosse, all into the low 90s today. Stoddard, high of 88 today for you, 85 in Westby and 85 in Viroqua. Highs reach 87 in Arcadia today, 87 in Alma Center, 88 Black River Falls, 88 Melrose. In the Chippewa Valley, mid to upper 80s with 88 today expected if you're in Eau Claire. Now for your school cast this morning, again, slight chance of a drizzle, otherwise partly cloudy, 70 degrees here for the morning off to school. On the way back home, 90 degrees under mostly sunny skies. I'll have more details on that, plus your full weather forecast and possible rain chances coming up in the next few minutes in my next forecast as well.
In your medical news this morning, adolescents who show signs of being dependent on alcohol are more likely to develop depression by their mid-20s. A new study by British researchers looked at nearly 4,000 young people in England. They found those who couldn't stop drinking, couldn't function normally while drinking, or had memory loss from drinking, among other factors, had a higher risk of depression several years later. Although millions fewer Americans are smoking cigarettes, there is less progress for some racial and ethnic groups. A new study from the CDC finds that between 2011 and 2020, adult cigarette smokers dropped by more than 13 million. However, the percentage of smokers did not drop as drastically for Asian American adults, and it didn't drop at all for American Indian communities. National Cancer Survivors Day is this Sunday, June 4th. More than 18 million people in the U.S. are living with a history of cancer. Exercise is recommended for survivors before, during, and after cancer treatment. Naomi Ruckham introduces us to a group taking it step by step.
These women meet every week to walk and talk.
I'm out and I'm just being normal. I don't have to think about my disease. I don't have to think about my next treatment.
They're all cancer survivors. 9 years ago, Mimi Schneer was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and is currently in treatment for her 5th recurrence. She says walking helps in many ways.
And sometimes we do talk about the disease, and that's okay too, because now we're sharing information.
The walking group is just one of several programs offered by the Nancy Marks Cancer Wellness Center.
And for cancer survivors, it's really important to walk every day.
Susan Stein is a cancer wellness social worker.
Research shows that the direct impact that physical exercise has on your mental and physical health, reducing anxiety and depression, reducing side effects from treatment.
The American Cancer Society recommends survivors avoid inactivity and return to normal activities as soon as possible after diagnosis and treatment. Take part in regular physical activity, start slowly, and build up over time.
When you go through a diagnosis and a treatment and a lot of other things in your life, you don't always have control. So it's just something that we can do for ourselves.
Pamela Goldstein was diagnosed with an aggressive breast cancer in 2017. She didn't exercise during her initial treatment, but recommends it.
One step at a time. It sounds so cliche, but it's the smallest thing. I mean, even to come here and walk for a half an hour, you know, you make a connection.
Getting in their steps and getting support.
The American Cancer Society recommends survivors also include resistance training and stretching exercises at least 2 days a week. That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek in today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sophia. Partly cloudy skies here this morning from CityCam 810 at downtown La Crosse, and many conditions look pretty similar to that as well. 70 degrees is our current temperature in La Crosse. Easterly winds light at 6 miles an hour. Meanwhile, those current conditions in the north and Eau Claire look like this: 65 degrees with clear skies, east-northeast winds light at 3 miles an hour. Current temperatures to the west in Winona, 66. Sparta still pretty cool out there, 59 degrees. Black River Falls at 63. Viroqua, good morning to you, you're at 67. Boscobel further south at 63 degrees. The forecast highs today into the upper 80s to low 90s, so yet another hot and steamy afternoon is in store, especially if you're in areas like La Crosse today. You could reach a high of 90. Boscobel probably even warmer than that by just a degree at 91 degrees this afternoon. So as we take a look at the planner, a slight drizzle here is possible around 7 o'clock. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies continue through noon, 85 degrees during the early afternoon. 4 o'clock, 87 with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms also possible. And then by 8 o'clock, we'll keep those shower and thunderstorm chances lingering as we head towards the early evening there with temperatures in the upper 70s. Looking at the bigger picture across the Midwest, we are looking at slight rain here across portions of the upper Midwest and the central United States. However, zooming in closer to home, you can see a few light showers here across portions of the Chippewa Valley. Other than that, those continue to weaken. We're just left over with a few clouds here in many spots, which will continue through at least 9 o'clock this morning. Now, fast forwarding into this afternoon, we could be looking at some showers, scattered showers and thunderstorms, that is, developing across portions of the Coulee region here today before diminishing as we head into tonight. As we head into tomorrow morning, we start off on a clear note with temperatures in the 50s and 60s, a few clouds though possible, and overall tomorrow a mix of sun and clouds, slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and then those chances quickly diminish as we lose the heating of the day tomorrow night, with temperatures then dropping into the 70s. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and we got highs into the upper 80s to low 90s for this weekend, so another hot weekend here coming up. Slight chance of showers and storms as we head into early next week on Monday, and then a mix of sun and clouds for the most part heading into next week. Some days could be a little cloudier than others, but by Monday night we got a cold front moving through, and that's going to help drop down our highs into the upper 70s to low 80s for Tuesday through Friday for the rest of next week. Meanwhile, low temperatures will mainly be into the 50s and 60s. So overall, pretty comfortable after we get through these next few hot afternoons. Stay with us, though. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We are taking a quick break for now with a look what happened on this day in history for June 2nd. We'll be right back.
Download the News 8000 app today.
Welcome to the Blitz. It was a big night for a few of our high school softball teams. We've made it to the sectional finals, and now it all comes down to this. If you win, you punch your ticket to the state tournament in Madison next week. We'll start the show in Division 4. Top seed Blair Taylor hosting Stratford. Top 4 bases full of Tigers. Lexi Christopherson's going to clear him. This ball is driven deep to right. All 3 runs come in to score. Stratford takes a 3-0 lead. Tigers would tack on another one, so the Wildcats looking to rally. Kirsten Kinchy drives one deep the other way. That's going to be a base hit. BT cuts the deficit back to just 3, but that's as close as the home team would get. Tigers get the strikeout to end it here as Blair Taylor's season comes to an end. Wildcats fall short in the sectional final, 4-1. More softball action from around the region. West Salem rallied late to take a 4-3 lead, but it's Turner coming out on top, 6-4. Amazing run this season by the Panthers. In D5, Seneca's season comes to an end. Royals get shut out by Assumption 5-0. And over in Minnesota, Winona is heading back to the state tournament. Windhawks beat Byron 8-0 to win their 3rd consecutive section title. The Orange and Black will play in the quarterfinals next Thursday in North Mankato. Let's go to the pitch. Division II Regionals on Alaska hosting Menominee. Not wasting any time. 2nd minute, Amaya Tessing. Right-footed strike, partially blocked, but still slips in the net. Hilltoppers first on the board. 3 minutes later, it's Tessing again. 2nd goal of the night. Hilltoppers take a 2-0 lead. 20th minute, Menominee's Megan Prochnow. A blast from a little more than 20 yards out. That soars over the keeper. Mustangs cut the deficit in half. It's 2-1. 27th minute, Hilltoppers on the attack again, and again it's Tessing. Surrounded by defenders, she completes the hat trick. Hilltoppers go on to win it, 5-1. Loggers in action looking for their 4th straight win to start the season. La Crosse down a run in the 2nd. Mitch Wood scorches a base hit in the left field. Jack Collins is going to try to score from 2nd, but he's gunned down at the plate. Bucks would tack on 2 more to go up 3, but the Loggers get those back. Ben Ziegler-Namoa lines a base hit down the right field line. That's going to be trouble. 2 runs come in to score. La Crosse cuts the deficit back to just 1. And then check out this defense from the home team. Jordan Donahue is going to turn the pretty double play here, but the Loggers fall for the first time this season as Waterloo hangs on for the win, 7-5. Brewers looking to take the series over Toronto, but the Crew had no answer for Kevin Gausman. The big righty was lights out, gets Rowdy Tellez in the 1st, then Willie Contreras goes down swinging. 6 2/3, 11 Ks for Gausman on the day, and the Blue Jays providing the power early. Bo Bichette to dead center. Solo shot puts Toronto up 1. Still in the 1st, man on for the former La Crosse Logger, Matt Chapman. He takes this one the other way. 2-run blast. Blue Jays put up a 3 spot in the 1st. That was more than enough, especially when you get defense like this in the 2nd. Kevin Kiermaier laying out in right center, full extension. What a catch on the run. Blue Jays take the rubber game 3-1. Twins opening up a set with the rival Guardians. Cleveland up 6-3 in the 8th, but here comes Minnesota. Donovan Solano finds the gap in left center. One hops the wall. Willie Castro comes all the way around from 1st. Twins within 2 until this. Still in the 8th, man on for Royce Lewis. He gets all of this one. Deep shot to straightaway center, and we are tied. 2-run blast for Lewis. It's 6-6. Then in the 9th, bases loaded for Castro. He skies one to right center. That's going to get the job done. Here comes Ryan Jeffers in from 3rd. Walk-off sac fly for the Twins. They get the win, 7-6. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, the Senate has passed the House debt ceiling bill, beating the U.S. Treasury's predicted date that the U.S. would run out of money to pay its bills by just 4 days. The president plans to address the nation later this evening on a passage of the bill, which he says he'll sign as soon as possible. CBS News' Jared Hill has more on how the vote unfolded.
The bill is passed.
Overnight, the Senate approved the agreement to suspend the nation's debt limit, averting what could have been a catastrophic default.
We may be a little tired, but we did it. So we're very, very happy.
Final passage came after a marathon of votes on 11 amendments, all of which failed. 31 Republicans, 4 Democrats, and 1 independent joined together in voting against the bill, which also slashes some federal spending in exchange for suspending the debt limit through January 2025.
I know in divided government is tough, but don't tell me that this is the best we could do.
Meanwhile, those who supported the bill acknowledged their yes was tough, but necessary.
As painful as some of the decisions that will come from this agreement reach, they are virtually at this point inevitable to avoid default on our debt.
In a statement, President Biden said the passage of the bipartisan deal is a, quote, big win for our economy and the American people. Now, the bill is headed to the president's desk, and he says he'll sign it as soon as possible.
The legislation also officially ends a student loan repayment freeze that has been in place during the pandemic, imposes stricter work requirements for food stamps, returns some funding from the IRS and unspent COVID relief funds, and speeds up new energy projects. Republican Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee was absent and was the only senator who did not vote. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson voted against the debt ceiling bill. In a press release, he said, quote, unfortunately, Democrats seem to have no problem mortgaging our children's future, and Republicans haven't figured out a way to stop them. I've consistently voted against massive deficit spending, so I'll let those who consistently support it vote to increase the debt ceiling to accommodate their recklessness. The legislation of marijuana in Minnesota is causing headaches for lawful gun owners. States legalizing cannabis clash with federal law, where a ban is still on the books. Under Minnesota's new law, sheriffs cannot deny someone a permit to carry solely because they are enrolled in the medical cannabis program or an adult using marijuana. However, federal law says otherwise. Cannabis attorney Jason Teresek says that while the feds often turn a blind eye to situations like this, some clarification would be nice.
It'd be great to get some clearer guidance from the federal government that would make people in legal markets more comfortable, that they don't need to be worried about the federal government knocking on their door.
In addition to the confusion with gun ownership, cannabis businesses also face tax and banking issues. The legislature's budget writing committee signed off on state building projects for the next 2 years that total more than $3 billion. Not on that list, however, was a new engineering building for the University of Wisconsin-Madison, which university officials have said is a top priority. In a statement after the committee vote, UW System President Jay Rothman thanked the committee for its work, but still called for more funding. He says that in order for Wisconsin to prosper, appropriate funding must be given to Wisconsin universities. June is National Dairy Month, and representatives across Wisconsin are celebrating by speaking with local farmers. Representative Derek Van Orden met with members of his Agriculture Advisory Board. One of the biggest points of the discussion was the Dairy Pride Act. The bipartisan legislation aims to stop labeling non-dairy products with dairy names. Van Orden says there is a clear difference between raising almonds and raising cows.
I think it really cheapens the work of our dairy farmers by calling, oat milk. And I got nothing. You want to drink oat milk or almond milk or, stuff from algae or, knock yourself out. But it's just not milk.
This isn't the only bipartisan legislation introduced to protect farmers. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin is also leading the Farmers First Act of 2023. It aims to expand mental health access for farmers. A new bill is hoping to help nurses provide the best possible care. Dubbed the APRN Modernization Act, the proposal would allow advanced practice registered nurses to work without physician supervision or collaboration. With Wisconsin witnessing a physician shortage, the APRN Modernization Act is a legislative proposal which aims to solve this problem. Health leaders say this would benefit smaller and more rural communities.
This would help attract and retain more advanced practice providers to these areas because they can practice to their full scope. Whereas, especially for us in the Coulee region, we have the option to work in bordering states like Iowa and Minnesota that already allow for full scope.
APRNs are able to provide safe and high quality care comparable to physicians, which increases the demand for them. June is Pride Month, and today Wisconsin's governor kicked off the celebration by raising the Progress flag over the Capitol. This is the second year the state is flying the Progress flag. It's a newer version of the widely recognized Rainbow Pride flag and was created to symbolize inclusion of marginalized communities within the LGBTQ community.
Raising the Pride flag today sends a message for all those who've only ever wanted to belong, who've had to find their own family, who've never known home. You belong here. You are family here. You are welcome here.
The flag will fly through the rest of the month. The U.S. and Wisconsin state flags will continue flying on the East Wing flagpole above the Pride flag. Inside the state capitol, lawmakers are working on their own agenda to support LGBTQ Wisconsinites. Since 2015 and a U.S. Supreme Court decision, same-sex Wisconsin couples didn't have to worry about the state's gay marriage ban. But last summer's decision to strike down abortion rights puts into question whether the High Court will overturn other precedents, like gay marriage. That's why one Wisconsin senator wants to repeal Wisconsin's gay marriage ban for good.
It is a real concern. Prior to the Dobbs decision, I think we were more focused on updating our state statutes related to marriage equality. It would stop Wisconsin from being able to perform our own same-sex marriages if federal marriage equality were to be overturned. So we'd be back to a place where Wisconsin couples would have to go out of state to get married. I don't think anybody wants to see that happen.
This process would go before voters for a referendum. Lawmakers want to include this as part of a series of LGBTQ supporting bills the legislature will introduce this session. Planting has begun at Century World. Over the next few days, tens of thousands of flowers will be added around the 16th hole and throughout the course. The U.S. Senior Open is just 4 weeks away, so this planting is not taken lightly.
right now, if you go to the 16th hole of Century World, you'll see a lot of dirt, but in the next 3 days, they'll have 33,000 bright, colorful flowers.
Pretty unique.
They call it the flower hole. In addition to the 33,000 flowers at this hole, an additional 10,000 will be planted throughout the grounds. The floral tradition has been a hallmark at Century World for more than 40 years, and it's unlike any other.
Definitely none in the state. I don't know of any courses in the U.S. that have a golf hole with this number of flowers on it. No picture can really do it justice when you get there and you're just surrounded by that number of flowers. You can smell, you know, all the different varieties. It's just a really unique experience for a golf course.
Right now, it looks like this. It takes a lot of hard work to cover that dirt.
Quite a bit of maintenance goes into it. Obviously, weeding is a big part of it. Keeping the correct nutrition and water on the flowers.
They started planting and seeding in greenhouses in December and January.
And it comes all together here the last week of May, early June.
Heidi Heath, owner of Heidi Heath Farms, has been in charge of the task for 10 years. It'll take 3 days for their team of 15 to complete the hole.
Color is a big piece of the decision. In addition is the longevity and performance of the plants.
She tries to put flowers with contrasting colors together to make it really pop, especially for this year. Hosting the U.S. Senior Open, it needs to be a showstopper.
One different thing about this year, we've got grandstands and corporate hospitality structures being built around the flowers, so it kind of gives it that little bit of a stadium feel.
Higher density of plant material, brighter colors, unique design, so we just tried to be one step up of the usual. So because it is an important year, it's a special year here.
You can roll up and see the flowers for yourself 1 month from now at the U.S. Senior Open.
The U.S. Senior Open runs from June 27th to July 2nd. Now here's Derek to tell us what to expect in our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Sophia. We're watching just a few weakening passing showers near the Chippewa Valley here this morning. You can see over the last hour or so, they have really since diminished, but we're still keeping our eyes on them nonetheless. A lot of them really not even making it to the ground because they're so light in nature. But we're seeing temperatures into the 60s, even the low 70s. Areas like La Crosse right now, 70 degrees. Winona is currently at 66. Now, the overall forecast today is going to be pretty hot with a high of 90 degrees with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Southeast winds at 5 to 10. So for tonight, 66 degrees. A little bit on the warm side tonight, partly cloudy skies, and overall winds looking light and variable here. Now, as we head into your mowing forecast today, it's pretty comfortable here between now and 8 o'clock, I would say, before it gets a little bit on the warm side at noon today. However, go ahead and do that here between now and the early afternoon, because by late this afternoon, I am expecting a chance of showers and thunderstorms, and that'll be not the time to go ahead and mow because you may run the risk of seeing some of those thunderstorms or running into them. But I'll be back with a check on your full weather forecast one more time coming up next after the break. Also coming up in our Buzz Report, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is returning to the Fast and Furious franchise and its upcoming movie. Stay with us. We'll be right back. A little on the cloudy side this morning from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. As you can see there behind me, our current conditions in La Crosse are currently at 70 degrees with a east wind at 6 miles an hour. The Mississippi River Stage is currently reporting 7.47 feet, and it's currently dropping here as well. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, 65 degrees, so a little cooler here. East-northeast winds at 3 miles an hour. The Chippewa River Stage, 759.5 feet, and that continues to rise here this morning along the current river stage there. Current temperatures in Black River Falls at 64. Sparta's at 59 degrees. Winona currently reporting 66. Down in Prairie du Chien, you're currently at 68, 65 degrees now in Bosquebel, with forecast highs today expected to rise into the upper 80s. And some locations like La Crosse today may even get warmer than that. A high of 90 degrees here for you is in the forecast this afternoon. Watch out for a drizzle or two here around 7 o'clock this morning. Partly cloudy, 85 degrees at noon today. And then at 4 o'clock, watching for a chance of some scattered showers and storms with temperatures at 87. And some of those thunderstorms could even linger into early this evening. Temperatures then into the upper 70s. Everything is pretty quiet across the upper Midwest. A couple of light spotty showers and thunderstorms across portions of the upper Midwest, including the central United States. Here in the Coulee region, a little closer to home, we were watching some very, very light showers here that some of them probably not even making it down to the ground here, according to the radar imagery overnight. And over the last hour or so, I have noticed that a lot of these here continue to weaken and now currently remain across portions of the Chippewa Valley. Sky Tracker showing some of those clouds across the area now, not necessarily picking up on some of that rain because, again, it's just so very light. across the area. We're looking at temperatures well into the 70s by 9 o'clock with some passing clouds still possible. Scattered showers and thunderstorms begin to develop off that daytime heating effect as we head to about 5 o'clock this afternoon and then begin to diminish as we head into tonight. Now, as we fast forward into tomorrow morning, we're looking at mostly clear skies across the area, that easterly wind taking shape, a few clouds here developing off that across portions of the area. And then by 1 o'clock, we're looking at highs into the mid to upper 80s here tomorrow afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm cannot be completely ruled out before those chances do diminish as we head into tonight. And then we're just looking at a few passing clouds here tomorrow night. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and looks like we're in store for another pretty hot and steamy weekend. Highs into the upper 80s to low 90s, especially during the day tomorrow. By Monday, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm once again possible. Look at those temperatures, though, as we head into the rest of next week. Starting on Tuesday, we're going to drop into the 70s, and that's thanks to a cold front moving in on Monday night to help cool us down for the rest of next week. After Monday, under partly to mostly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the 50s and 60s.
In our Morning Buzz report, Hobbs is back. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says he's returning to the Fast and Furious franchise. He announced the news on social media, saying he's 100% confirming his character Luke Hobbs is back in the mix, and he thanked audiences for their support and excitement surrounding his surprise. Cameo in Fast X, which hit theaters in May.
Just like that, I realized you never know what tomorrow will bring.
And just like that, Samantha Jones is back. Kim Cattrall will reportedly make a return on the Sex and City reboot. And just like that, Cattrall is expected to have a cameo in the season 2 finale. Last season, Samantha only engaged with Carrie Bradshaw over text. This season could bring a cliffhanger phone call with Carrie. Season 2 of And Just Like That debuts on Max June 22nd.
Yeah, I'm taking center stage, 'cause tonight I'm on fire if you're standing in my way. Yeah, you better move from me.
Singer-songwriter Idina Menzel goes disco dance diva with Move, the first video from her new album Drama Queen. The Tony winner's disc of original dance and pop songs arrives August 18th.
What do you mean, Sophia, you don't know who that is? Come on.
You don't either. I literally have never heard of her before.
Yeah, but she's a good singer, though. So apparently she's also in Frozen, according to our producer. So.
I wonder which song she sings. All right.
She's Elsa.
Oh, she's Elsa. Interesting. I did not know that.
There you go.
Okay, well, before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, so we got a couple of birthdays to celebrate today. Our first one, we're going to start with Austin. He's turning 8, and Austin enjoys watching WWE and loves to golf with his older brother.
Happy 80th birthday to Fred. Fred enjoys spending time with his family and friends at his cabin.
Well, that's all for our birthdays today. So if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. A Winona woman has now been missing for 2 months. Businesses along East 3rd Street have signs on their windows with Madison Kinsberry's name and a brief description, including when and where she was last seen. One of the businesses is Red King Tattoo, where Kinsberry is a client. The tattoo shop has had signs outside its windows since she went missing. Owner Zephyr Morrison says Kinsberry was scheduled for an appointment a few days ago. She says her disappearance is having an impact.
It's really hard. We kind of take it personally because these people work with us and, you know, we help them commemorate their families and celebrate a lot of big things. So it can be really tough when they're not around.
Morrison and her staff have been joining searches with the hopes of finding Kinsberry. Blue ribbons have also been placed around Winona, and residents are putting blue lights on their homes. 3 people are still unaccounted for at the site of a building collapse in Davenport. New photos and documents show that exterior work on the building began 4 days before the collapse, and an engineer hired by the building's owner reported that parts of the brick front looked likely to fall at any moment. The son of one of the missing people have been standing by and sleeping outside the fences, believing his father is still within the rubble of the building.
It's frustrating, but I don't know. I've been trying my hardest not to think about it so I don't break down and cry. Like, I've been trying to like push it to the back of my head and just think about nothing.
The American Red Cross opened a shelter for people who were forced out of their apartments. The city says it's offering $6,000 to each displaced family. City authorities are struggling to figure out when and how to demolish the building. A century-old home is getting new life as Habitat for Humanity hands over the keys to its next new homeowner. Andrea Baum and her kids will be moving into this house on 6th Street in La Crosse at the end of the month. Habitat held a dedication ceremony. The house was built in the 1880s, and Baum, along with volunteers, put in hundreds of hours of work into the house. For Baum, this home means having a permanent, safe place to stay for her and her family.
I think once we move in, a part of me just is going to be more complete. There's always been that missing piece of not having a home to go home to or something that we've had in the family. So I'm really excited just to have that piece kind of like fulfilled and kind of go forward in the future for future generations in my home.
All Habitat homeowners put in 350 sweat equity hours and take financial literacy and first-time homeowner classes before purchasing the home from Habitat. The house has 3 bedrooms, a crafting room, and a backyard for her kids to play in. West Salem is ready to celebrate a hallmark of Wisconsin, dairy. Enjoy food, music, and carnival games at West Salem's 53rd annual June Dairy Days Festival. The festival kicks off today at noon and will run through Sunday. For more information about the festival, go to news8000.com. We're just days away from pool season. Erickson Northside Community and Veterans Memorial Pool open up Saturday. The pools will be open until August. Admissions is $4 per person. And in Eau Claire, Fairfax Municipal Pool opens on Saturday. The pool is also open through August. Adult and youth admission is $5 a person. Kids 2 years and under get in free.
I'm thinking about heading to the pool this weekend. I mean, that's feeling nice out there, and we got good weather here for it as well. There is a slight chance of a drizzle here this morning. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy skies, with temperatures in the 70s through 9 and then the 80s here as we head into this afternoon. We're watching for a chance of showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon into early this evening. So as we head into your 8-day forecast, we're looking at partly cloudy skies this weekend. Highs into the upper 80s, low 90s. A slight chance of a shower or storm possible on Monday. Probably to mostly cloudy skies for the rest of next week. Highs into the 70s and low 80s, lows in the 50s and 60s. And by the way, that singer Menzel. So we just learned she plays
Derek
in Frozen.
and I were just saying how we don't know her, but she's the Frozen.
She's the Frozen
character.
Elsa character.
And she was in Wicked, which
And she
I'm
was in
familiar
Wicked,
with.
yeah. So I feel like a total dunce right now. I'm sorry.
Me too.
And apparently she sings a Let It Go song.
There you go. Well, now you know what Eric.
You just called me Eric. Okay, that's it.
All right, we're leaving.
Forget.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day.
Gosh.
At news8000.com, we'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great morning, everyone. Thank you for watching News 8.
Ridiculous.